Trump is Putin's bitch.
You are anti-American.
No. Let me talk.
Most of the illegals are asylum seekers, or are they economic
Wait,
migrants?
no. Wait.
Which are they?
Listen to
Come
what you
on.
just said.
I want to help you get laid. Not me, lay
Are you pro-incel?
No.
Well, welcome to Bar Fight. I'm Michael Knowles. I'm joined tonight by two guests.
Wow, real sophisticated answer.
I know.
You would know him from CNN if anyone ever watched. Adam Mockler.
Well, dude, you got to answer my questions a little better.
Just because you're wrong about something doesn't mean it's not.
That's convenient.
You know what? You should get out of my country.
They want more deportations.
I'm also joined one of the most reasonable people ever to appear on Jubilee. That would be Cecilia Rae. This is how it works. We have each brought 3 topics to the table. The audience chooses the topics. We will duke it out. Then our highly sober audience, I can already tell how sober you are, you can go up to the microphones to pick a fight with any of us. If you want to fight me, you go to the blue microphone. If you want to fight my guests, you go to the red microphone. Let's get into it. Ceci, ladies first.
Okay, the big beautiful bill is the ugliest piece of legislation written for the American people.
Okay, Adam.
Trump is putting Russia first before America first when it comes to the Ukraine war. He's putting Russia first, yep.
Okay.
Nope, you guys can boo all you want, it's true.
Okay.
Yep.
My topic is the only problem with Trump's deportations is we need more of them.
This feels a little bit skewed.
It seems a little bit all done. I
Go
thought
for it.
Nashville was a blue city. I don't know. The whole country's turned red, though. Mr. Davies, who won?
Looks like the people want more deportations.
They want more
They want more
deportations.
deportations.
Let's hear it, Michael.
All right. The deportations have been great thus far. We've gotten rid of lots of criminals. We've gotten rid of lots of face-tattooed, Satan-worshipping gangsters. I think it's all really good. We have cut crossings over the border down to basically nothing. In May, it was literally nothing, not one man apprehended. Historic lows since then. So that's all been great. Self-deportations have been even better. 2.1 million immigrants have deported foreign-born in just the last 7 months. 1.6 million of them illegal. That's 10% probably of the illegal alien average. The only problem is if we want to improve our crime statistics, if we want to improve safety, and if we want to improve drains on our public welfare systems, we need to deport more. No, you say no. Why?
Am I kind of start?
I'll go.
I say ladies first.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
go. Okay, so here's the thing with the deportations is that you look at it through 3 different lenses. The first lens you could look at it through is the money lens, right? The billionaire lens, where they pay $89 billion in taxes while Tesla and Amazon pay 0. So we're going to toss out $89 billion. But we don't know what, And then the second lens you could look at it through is, they're all criminals. But in reality, a study done by the Justice Department in 2021 showed us that American-born citizens are 10 times more likely to be incarcerated for a weapons charge, 5 times more likely for violent crime, 2 times more likely for drug offenses, and 2 times more likely for property crime over documented and undocumented immigrants. And it's because when they come here, they have more to lose than we do. I'd rather have people here that are willing to cross thousands of miles with just the clothes on their back because they really want to be here. And we've seen our GDP has crashed into the negative. All these farm jobs that you guys all say, I'm going to go, they took our job. They're empty. Why is no one taking them? What's going on?
Okay, Adam, do you agree?
I have my own framing that I want to approach this with. Do you want to respond or can I go?
Sure. So you mentioned that the non-illegals, the citizens commit far higher crime. That's a little strange because when you look at the federal docket for just 2024, almost 1/3 of cases on the federal docket are non-citizens. That's much, much higher than their share of the population, which is in the single digits, probably about 5% for illegal aliens alone. Then if you look at the prison population, BOP, 15% of inmates are non-citizens, much, much higher than their share of the population, which is 4%. Then if you look at just the costs to the cities, I can go to New York, my old hometown. The New York comptroller showed that they were spending $1.5 billion in 2023 on the illegal aliens who were there. That number doubled the following year, 2024, to $3 billion. It's over $3 billion this year. So when you say this is a net positive for the economy, they're contributing so much more than the billionaires. When you say they're no good for crime. I don't know. I look at the numbers out of New York. I look at the numbers out of the CBO. I look at the numbers out of the National Academies of Science, and I say they're all contradicting you.
No, your study. I don't ever trust your statistics.
Can I hop in real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach when it comes to this. I want to start off with the fundamental idea. Everybody in here agrees that if somebody is here illegally and they commit crimes, get them the out of here, right?
Yes.
Get them the hell out of here.
Yeah.
If somebody is here, listen.
Yeah, did you just hear
No,
what
not
you
all
said?
of
If they're
them.
here illegally.
No.
Not all
Wait,
of them.
let me
You
finish.
said if they're here illegally.
Michael.
Not all of them.
Michael, is there a difference between a civil and a criminal violation?
Well,
Wait, is crossing the border illegally a civil or a criminal violation?
It depends on the case, but it can be a civil violation.
It can be a civil
but if
violation,
if
so
it's
it's
a
not
repeat
inherently
violation,
illegal. So can I just...
It can be a civil
Okay, so let's
violation.
all start off with the fundamental idea
But
that
it's
if
still
somebody
illegal.
is
It's
here
still illegal,
illegally...
right?
No, it's not. It is a civil violation.
Well,
it is not a criminal...
What
they
does
just call them
illegal mean?
criminals.
What does illegal
No, they
refer
just
to? It
call
refers
them
to the law.
criminals. Okay, so let me just get into this. I can start with the fundamental idea that if somebody's here illegally and they commit crimes, they should be sent to another country's prison. And I'm a libtard. By all standards, I'm a libtard, and I believe that. But that is not what the Trump administration is prioritizing. They have reallocated funds meant for the deportation of criminals towards the deportation of farm workers, the deportation of people going to the courthouse. Trump made a True Social post. Listen, Trump made a True Social post where he said, all the great farmers of Iowa just called me and said, I am deporting too many of their... Did that happen? Did he make that True Social post?
Yeah, unfortunately, he
He
stopped
did
deporting
make
them,
that
but
True
he should
Social
have
post.
continued deporting
So
them.
your issue right here is that you always say liberals are taking these 80-20 positions, and you're not quite there, but you're getting closer to the 80-20 position than we are.
Yeah.
70% of Americans want a legal pathway for people who are here contributing to the country. And what Donald Trump is doing, one more point, what Donald Trump is doing is criminalizing asylum en masse and prioritizing the deportation of farm workers
Asylum,
and other people.
Adam. Most of the illegals are asylum seekers, or are they economic migrants?
Wait,
Which
listen,
are
wait,
they?
listen to
Come
what you
on.
just said.
Yeah.
Most of the illegals are asylum seekers. Asylum seeking is not illegal,
No,
Michael.
it's not.
Is
No,
asylum
that's
seeking
what I'm
illegal?
asking.
That's a pathway.
Oh, sorry then.
The people that we would call illegal aliens, non-citizens in the United States who aren't on a green card, who are not here on a visa, are most of them
What
asylum
percent of the-
seekers, or are they economic
what
migrants?
percent of the people deported-
You're not going to answer that question because you know the answer.
Wait, no. What percent of the people deported have had criminal violations? It's only 30 to 40%.
Yeah.
So 60% of the people deported have no criminal violations. Guys,
They're not rounding up.
can I
just
test the
criminals.
audience? Can I test you guys? If somebody comes over here and seeks asylum and what they try to do is build a better life, build a family, and they're working on a farm, do you guys think there should be a path to citizenship to become an American? That is the antithesis of what America stands for. You guys are anti-American then.
Yeah, you are.
You are anti-American.
Can you imagine going to a Nashville bar, talking to great patriots, and saying you're anti-American? That's the craziest thing
America
I ever
was
heard.
built off of immigrant.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
I don't-
Adam, you can
Right
finish your
here.
point. Then we got some questions.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay, to the panel. Americans will work every single job. They just want to be paid a wage that's worth it and treated well. The only reason, let me talk. The only reason that we have illegal immigration and so much legal immigration is because the corporate lobby wants cheap labor and they can treat their workers like shit.
Hey, hold on. I want to make a correction. The other reason is that Democrats want a permanent electoral majority.
Correct.
That's the other reason.
They want an electorate where they do not have to campaign. They don't need good ideas. They will just win every single election because of the people they imported.
That's funny
So,
because
okay, no,
Latinos went red.
No, but-
Latinos went closer to being red this election, so
Okay,
it's kind
but
of funny.
do you think that once we deport everyone, that suddenly Congress is going to raise minimum wage?
It's not about the
they're
minimum
not.
wage. It's
will
about
do that.
labor
No, and
economics.
also you should
Wages
be
go up
blaming
when there are
the
less people to do the
corporate
job.
men who are taking
Wages will go up when there's less
advantage
people
and
to do the
exploiting
job.
them.
That guy is seriously vying for a VIP table spot at Mayflower.
you-
Wait,
No, I'm going to say something.
no.
No, I want to say
Am
one
I
more
going to
thing.
go?
Okay, I want to say one more thing right now.
Okay.
So this whole mass deportation thing, first off, they're not going to raise minimum wage for you because everyone's
I'm not
fine.
asking you to do that.
And you
I'm
should.
not
I
asking
think,
you to do that.
I think what he's saying is because
It's not
there-
about the minimum wage.
Right, because there are
But-
pressures on the labor market when you flood it with,
Correct.
with low.
I'm a
So you
contractor.
should blame the
I'm a
men at the top
contractor.
who are hiring and exploiting them. That's
Because
why.
they're available. That's
also,
the market.
this
That's
whole
the
mass
market.
deportation thing, just so everyone knows, it is all to fuel the racism in this country.
No, it's
when
not.
in reality,
No, it's not.
when in
No, it's not.
reality, stop. In reality, the only color that matters in this country is green. Are you green enough? And 99% of us are not. So you're not going to get a pass unless you could pay for it.
No, but yeah, but all,
Money.
But the But to our earlier point, if that were true, though, Ceci, the illegal aliens are a drain on resources at the state
Yep.
and local
They're
level.
not.
So
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
according to
Can I
the,
hop in?
according
Yes,
to
they
the
are. They
CBO,
take more than they
the
put in.
Congressional
They're not.
Budget Office.
Oh, the CBO that you guys don't trust when it's convenient for you?
But also according
Wait,
to the
do you
National
trust the
Academies
CBO
of
on the
Science.
big beautiful bill?
Well, I certainly trust it more than Adam Mockler. Do you believe the CBO or no?
Listen, if we enacted the mass deportation that Donald Trump wants, over the next decade, $900 billion would increase the deficit, 3.3% of
Who
our
pays for
GDP
their
would be hopped
insurance?
off. Okay, wait.
Who pays for their health care?
Wait, can I ask you a question?
have insurance.
Can I ask you a question? Would you be okay with people being here, immigrating here?
Probably not. No.
Listen,
Probably not.
Can I ask you
Probably
what?
not.
so you're just un-American.
Wait, I just want to
So
ask
you're
you
just
this. Can
un-American.
Wait, but
I
can
wasn't born
I just
here.
want to
I wasn't
ask
even
the
born here.
audience.
No,
You
I don't
weren't
want-
born here?
No.
And you don't want people to immigrate here.
Because we have more than enough.
Yeah, we
That
got
is
more than
pulling
way
dude,
more than enough.
You know what? You
Are
should
you
get out
gay
of
and
my
you hate
country.
gay people too?
It's my country
You weren't
too.
born here,
That doesn't matter.
right? That's the
Wait,
mindset.
guys.
No, it's not. I want to do what's
I don't
best
see
for
any
That's the
Americans here
contradiction with
today
mindset, and
now.
you're not from here.
That's okay.
You're a hypocrite. You're a
Okay.
hypocrite.
I don't think it's hypocritical to come to a
It's
country
100%
and then say
hypocritical.
we
I don't know.
shouldn't
That no
flood it
one
with
else is
foreigners.
allowed after
I don't really
me.
want this guy in my country. I don't know.
I do. I want to elect that
Nah, I
guy to,
think
I
you
don't know,
gotta go.
Senate or something. I definitely
Oh
want
my
that
You're
guy.
goodness.
also a little brown.
Jesus.
You say he looks brown?
That's what they're doing. If you look the wrong skin color, if you have the wrong tattoos, they're just picking you up.
All right, do we have
That's
another
it.
question back there?
Wait, I have a question. Are you guys okay with ICE racially profiling?
Oh, so we got a bunch of racists in the audience.
Well, hold on. If
Are
you're
you
go-
okay
if you-
with ICE racially profiling?
I think if ICE is confronted with a little Norwegian grandma and a guy named Jose who doesn't speak a lick of English and either trying to pick up illegals, probably go for Jose, right?
That's
I
not what
think-
the racial
Is that
profiling
racial
that they're
profiling?
doing?
Technically, that's probably
That's
racial
not what I'm
profiling.
talking about. You can go to
What
an
are you
extreme
talking
example.
about? I
but-
said you got a Norwegian and a Hispanic. You're picking up illegal
So
aliens.
you're
Who
picking
are you
the
gonna look
white
at?
person is what you're doing.
I would not pick the white person because
You
she
just said
didn't.
no.
She
You're
didn't come
hopping
here
to the
illegally.
most extreme example, but do you think you should be able to go somewhere, and if there's a group of people speaking Spanish, you should be able to directly target them due to the Spanish that they're speaking,
Well,
due to
speaking
the race?
speaking
due
Spanish
to
is
their
not a race.
I'm just talking about the profiling.
Plenty
that
of
they
white
do.
people speak Spanish.
I'm
Even
talking
black
about
people do too.
They are
So that's not
profiling
race.
people
That's-
based on their language, their skin color, and things. That's what I'm saying. And are you
But
guys
hold on, that's different, Adam. That's a very important point. You're saying should we profile people based on strictly one criterion? And I would say probably not. That's probably a broad brush.
But they think we should.
Hold on,
The audience thinks
hold
we
on.
should,
But
so you
what
disagree
if-
with your own
no,
audience.
No, you just said.
Wait, should we racial
hold on,
profile?
Hold on, but what you just said was race, speaking a foreign
That's what they're
language
doing.
in an enclave that's segregated from the mainstream community, speaking in their own way. Well, now you got like 5 different touch points. Yes, I would
Okay,
say Tom
here's the-
Homan, round him up.
Here's the problem. The Trump administration has admitted they have done illegal deportations. When they brought back Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia,
Kilmar Abrego, give me a break.
Wait.
This gangster from Maryland, the Democrat
Wait.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, love of his life.
wait a minute. If he's
Yes.
a gangster, why did the Trump administration bring him back?
He's being prosecuted right now in the United
Why
States.
did they bring him back?
Because some 2-bit federal judge made him do it, so now he's being prosecuted here.
Why would they agree if it was just Trump always disagrees with judges? Why
Because-
would he bring him back? It's
Because Trump's not a tyrant like you people always say that he is.
He
He
out-
follows the law, he listens to the courts, and he works within the system of laws. Okay, now, who was the VIP in that round? Do we even have to ask? Is that our future senator, Mr. Not Born Here American? Where's he at? Sir, you get to go to the VIP table. Great to see you.
Paolo. My name is Paolo.
Paolo, that's a good name. Is that Italian? All right, now that's
Get him out of our country. Get him out of our country.
yeah.
anti-Italian discrimination. Okay, now, folks, Ceci, would you like to go first?
Okay, so my top topic is Trump is using national emergencies to distract from the Epstein files because he's in them.
Okay, does that do it for you? That's okay. All right, Adam.
How about this one? Trump's tariffs have been an unmitigated disaster. They have been, yeah, they have been a disaster. Boo the tariffs, yeah.
Boo.
I kind
Boo
of
the
like that
tariffs.
topic because it's so wrong. Okay, my topic is it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Gay marriage is really bad for kids. Is that? All right, wow, all right.
Michael, you won. We're going to do Adam and Steve first.
Wow, man. 2003 slogans still crushing in 2025. Love it. Okay, let's get into it. It seems to me there's no such thing as gay marriage. There's nothing against guys who are a little light in the loafers. I lived in New York and LA. I went to the gayest university in the world. But It's just it was Yale. He guessed it. But men and women are different. And so the union of two men is different from the union of two women, and that's different from a marriage, which is a man and a woman. And I think that men and women both have something to contribute. I think that children benefit from a mother and a father. I don't think men and women can be replaced and substituted for each other. And the science shows that kids who are raised in gay households do a lot of work on basically every measure.
That's not true.
Yeah, so
What'd I get wrong?
a few things. First of all, I just want to start with the fundamental fact that I think marriage is important. I think that marriage is something that should be incentivized. And in America, there is gay marriage. You can say gay marriage does not exist, but there is gay marriage since 2015.
It's like saying there's up-down, though. You could say it, but it doesn't make it real.
Legally,
Well, I mean,
can
it
gay
is
people get
real.
married? Have gay people gotten married in the United States?
No, well, some
mean,
have when they're hiding their true
Wait, no,
desires,
answer
I
this.
guess.
Legally, have gay people gotten married in the United States? Have a man and a man legally gotten married? Yes
No,
or no?
that's not possible. That'd be like swimming in outer space.
Legally,
it doesn't mean anything.
No,
You're
legally they are
slippering out.
married.
Wait, guys in the crowd. Two men have never gotten married ever in America?
They've married women.
What do you mean semantics? Can you explain what you mean by semantics? No, I'm straight. I'm just trying to defend.
If you have a point to make, go up to the microphone.
Yeah. So I feel like you're the one that's playing semantics when you say
Well,
that.
semantics means meaning, and I'm trying to get to the
And
meaning
by the
of
way,
the debate.
semantics
Yeah.
are very, very important. So when we
Yeah.
look at the laws in the United States, you cannot look me in the eyes and say two women have never gotten married. You can play semantics. Yeah.
I'm looking you right in the eyes. Two women have never married
You're
each
lying.
other in the
That's
history of the
lying.
not
world.
true.
You guys can cheer, but I'm sure you guys
That's not
know
true.
gay people.
Right.
It's just
We
not
know
true.
that people
You can
have
sit here and
gotten
play
married
semantics, but let's go
legally.
downstream to your next argument that children don't do better in gay marriages.
Which
I
isn't
think that
true.
there's a lot of statistics showing the exact opposite.
Such as?
There's studies. There's one that I was reading earlier. I can't remember the exact name, but it was the main one that is supposed to prove that that children in same-sex couple or same-sex marriages don't perform as well. But there were a lot of other factors they weren't controlling for, such as unstableness in the family household, which was not directly related to gay couples, but. Can I ask you a question?
Hold
real
on.
quickly?
So you were touching on points that do bear on that, but this is a very important part of the debate.
Yeah.
Because the study that everyone cites in defense of gay marriage,
Yeah.
is the Rosenfeld study from
Yeah,
Stanford
that's the one, yeah,
2010.
yeah.
And it found that the kids raised in gay households did just as well as the kids raised in normal households. The problem was that the study eliminated households where the parents had moved and the kids had moved within 5 years. That disproportionately removed the same-sex households. So that was re-examined later on, and when you controlled for that fact, it wiped it away. More importantly, in 2012, there was a study that came out of UT Austin. This was much more thorough. It measured the kids of married parents, heterosexual living together parents, two fellas, two chicks. Measured them on 80 different measures of social outcome. The children of the same-sex couples did worse on 77 out of 80. The exceptions were voting habits and alcoholism among kids raised by lesbians.
Can I ask you a question?
No, I want to ask a question really quick. Would you rather, so the gays, when they adopt, are taking kids who don't have homes. Would you rather kids grow up in a foster care system?
Sometimes intentionally purchasing kids through
No,
the
they're not
idea
purchasing
wait.
with the
kids.
intention of
They go
depriving
through
them
the
of their
same-
natural
no,
mothers.
They go through the same checks as straight couples to adopt.
Can I say a few things
Well,
really
we're-
quickly?
we're-
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, Adam,
So
yeah.
each state has different laws that are. You have to meet certain requirements to adopt people. So you cannot just adopt somebody if you're an absolute piece of shit all the time. But
Plus,
you-
how many straight people have kids that shouldn't?
You can, but overall, there are house checks, there are things that go through. Can I ask you a simple question, though?
Yes.
Say a kid was abandoned by their family at a young age, and they're growing up in the foster care system. Would you rather them spend most of their formative years in the foster care system or with two parents that are the same sex?
So I think it's very telling that you're focusing on older children in the foster care system
It can
and
be
not
younger as
defending
well.
Younger
and
too.
not defending kids who are either adopted as newborns or kids who are, which is an increasingly frequent occurrence, kids who are purchased through the IVF and surrogacy industry with the intention of depriving them of their natural mothers. And I think you're doing it because it's the most sort of
Well, no,
heartstring-
you're not answering my question.
Yeah.
Wait, did he just answer my question?
Yeah, do you
No,
want them in
he
the
did
foster
not.
care
No, I
system?
guess
Answer
my
my question.
answer is
No, you pivoted
because,
around.
because
No,
the overwhelming scientific evidence backs up the overwhelming common sense evidence that
I'm
kids
gonna ask the
do.
question one more
I'm
time.
answering it for you. That kids do worse on virtually every measure raised by
So you-
same-sex
It's
children.
yes or no.
So
I
you'd
would
rather
not
have them in the
subject
foster
to
care
that.
system?
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't.
yes.
I don't think,
Dude,
for
answer the
example,
question. Foster
I
care
am
system or
answering.
same
It's yes
sex?
or no.
You've kind of just slithered around it. Wait,
Yeah.
what's his answer been, guys?
Yeah, I don't.
Does he want
No
them
one
in the
knows your
foster
answer,
care
bro.
system?
Clarify
I
your
don't-
answer for me.
I am answering it for you.
What has his answer been?
I don't think that children do well raised by same-sex
That's not the
parents.
question. The question is, do
Foster
you want
care
them in the
system
foster care system
or two
more than in a
same-sex marriage?
two-house?
I don't think that two men or two women should be able to
So
adopt
foster care
So
system.
yes,
children.
foster's better for
So
them.
you're
I don't-
slithering through the guys.
Yeah, this
are we going
foster care
crazy, or is he
system's
not
better.
answering the question right now?
I guess my answer would, for the foster care system
Yeah.
would be that kids are being raised often in same-sex situations in the foster care system. So you can't make a comparison between those two because you're already dealing with one man or five
Why
men
did it
or
take you
10
like
men.
5 minutes to make that point at the end? Why did
Because you're evading the actual point, which is whether children raised in same-sex households do better or worse. And the scientific
I
evidence,
have not
which you
seen
could not cite,
widespread studies.
There's
scientific
not-
evidence which you could not cite, uniformly says that they
Not
do worse.
uniformly, no.
Yes.
You just cited a study from 2010 that says
Which
the
was
opposite.
corrected, from 2010,
There
was
are
corrected
multiple
3 years
studies-
later out of Simon Fraser University.
There are multiple organizations. When I was doing my research, I can't remember, but there are multiple
Then
organizations.
you got to do better research if you can't remember.
Dude, you got to answer my questions a little better.
I don't know. I think I just answered your question.
Not
So yes, the
really.
foster care
So a
system
foster
is
care
better.
system is what you prefer.
Yeah,
That's so ridiculous. You know, you're making a totally inapt comparison to avoid the
Wait a
actual
minute.
point.
But there
Guys,
aren't enough,
one
like,
second.
gay couples adopt, and so do straight couples. I don't
There are
understand why
30
you would rather have them in the foster care
It's
system.
a very common situation that happens, Michael. A lot of times people are abandoned, and gay couples obviously can't have kids, so what they do is adopt. Now, my question is
no,
simple.
that's not true. What they
My
do
question
generally
simple.
is purchase children through the IVF industry.
So do you think
Generally,
straight, do you think
Adoption
straight
rates are
women-
way higher.
Do you think
Adoption rates
straight
are way
couples are also buying kids when they do IVF?
Well, they shouldn't do that either.
Wait,
Now, do we
guys.
have any questions over here at the mic?
Adam, I think you're completely wrong.
About what?
How did we get on a topic from kids to marriage? First
no.
off,
That was
no,
Michael's
no, 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 no,
prompts.
no, 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 no. Let me talk.
Oh, that was his
No,
problem.
no, 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 no. Let me talk. All right. There is two genders in this world. You are born with either a, you know.
You just went from kids, marriage to gender.
Okay, but it doesn't make a difference.
Well, you just said he segued. so
Men
now you
belong
just
with
did.
women, and women belong with men. That's all I gotta say. Thank you very much.
Wow, real
That was well
sophisticated
said.
answer.
I know.
I thought that was
Real
well said.
Your prompt did include the kid part, though, right?
Say it again.
Your prompt did include the kid part, though, right?
Also, you're here with a giant group of men, right?
Well done. Excellent question. All right. We have to move on topics. Okay, so please, I want to buy you a drink at the VIP table. We got Mayflower cigars over there.
Don't light him inside, please.
Can you tell me, what is your name? Joey. That's a good name. Josephina.
Josephina works too. I mean, it's only for a day, you know.
Wait, so you guys are okay with a group of guys breaking gender norms to have a little
They're
bit of
not
fun right
adopting any kids. Don't worry.
Wait,
They're
no.
going to be no kids tonight.
there? Wait, no, but you guys
Yeah,
are okay
but-
with that? I feel like that usually wouldn't be okay. You guys would call people like that like weird, but they're just like having fun, right?
Well, the reality is, if you're just playing around and pretending, and we all know it's like a big joke, that's one thing. But the crazy thing that happened
That's
in
a
our
weird
society
arbitrary
is we,
line.
Yeah.
No, the crazy thing that happened in our society is we all started to pretend that like the farce was reality, and that's when you take it a little bit too far. You know, I don't know.
Do you think gender dysphoria is not real according to DSM-5, or are you gonna all of a sudden not believe
I think
stats?
some fellas think they're ladies or they watch too much porn or whatever, but they shouldn't. It's bad for them, and they should be tethered to reality. That would be the charitable, and it's the charitable right thing to do because charity is clarity, would be my view. Okay, ladies first. What's your
Okay.
top topic?
Okay, my next topic is the incel male loneliness epidemic is self-imposed.
That was the incel crowd. Okay, that's good. Adam?
My last one is Trump has personally profited more off of this presidency than any other president in history. He has doubled his net worth.
They're applauding the prophet, I think. They're not applauding the...
Yeah, because you guys are hypocrites who have no spine.
I don't mind profit. Profits are great.
He's doubled
That's
his net
not
worth, my
hypocritical.
dude. He was that dude at the mic was just saying that Americans should be paid living wages, yet the president is doubling his net worth, and you're like, yeah.
During the presidency? No, I was in the internecine period. Now, okay, my last topic. 28% of Zoomers should be alive today, but their mothers killed them. Kind of a doer topic. Yeah, okay. All right, no one wants to talk about that, but it's true. Isn't that crazy? Okay. I don't know, Mr. Davies. I actually couldn't tell between those two.
I was actually a clear
Incels.
winner on the decimator. The decimator popped when all
Kick
the
it off.
incels came out in force.
It was incels.
We're doing
It was
incels.
incels, yeah.
Hold on one second. Go to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Knowles. Life gets busy. Do you remember to reorder your supplements every month? Is that top of your list? It's just one more thing on your already packed to-do list. That is why you need to become a Balance of Nature preferred customer. And here is why it's a game changer. Your supplements show up like clockwork every 28 days, right to your doorstep. Or if you're like me, they show up to your office, and you think that that's nice because then you get it direct, except that the hyenas around the Daily Wire are gonna try to steal your Balance of Nature, so you gotta go to the desk and get it really quickly. You gotta get it first. You don't need to remember to reorder. No running out, just happens automatically. No hunting for deals, no promo codes, no stress. Plus shipping is totally free every month. Now, you know what really sold me? You get your own personal health coach. Someone who checks in, cheers you on, and helps you stay on track with your goals. They look at the whole picture, body, mind, and spirit. Easiest routines are the ones you don't have to think about. When it's automatic, it's consistent. When it's consistent, it sticks. You handle life, Balance of Nature handles the rest. Right now, you can become a preferred customer and lock in wholesale pricing with free shipping every month. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Knowles, KNWLES, for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Knowles.
Ceci, what's your argument?
All right, so the male loneliness epidemic, let me tell you, this whole incel movement, it's disturbing. I think that a lot of guys, feel alone or they're angry, and then this whole red pill podcast came through to tell them where to put their anger, blame women, and can't get laid. But in reality, I think you should be blaming more like the dating apps, this and that, because we're not out in the wild. We're at a bar right now with like 70 people. You can find a match here instead of online where you have 7,000 and everyone's just playing the game. I just don't feel like there's enough contact. I mean, as time goes on, according to the CDC, we're having less sex. You're having less sex as time goes on. I think incels need to get a gay friend and a girlfriend to glow you up and show you the way. There is somebody for everybody. Yeah. Have you ever seen the show My Strange Addiction? They're all married. So if you're an incel in the room, you will find yours. Trust.
So hold on, Ceci, I want to see if I can narrow. I thought you were going to go after the incels, but that was like a pep talk. That was very inspiring.
But that's the thing, for the incel movement, I don't want to tear you down. I want you to be built up so that you're good men for us women.
Wow. Okay. Very pro incel.
I want to help you get laid.
Adam,
not me,
Are you pro incel?
No. But other women, I could help you with your style. I could totally help you.
Wow.
That's it.
If the bachelor party could get any more excited, I think they would be out of the room. Okay, yes?
Can I just give a bit of a boring answer as a young dude who's grown up in this culture? No,
yes.
I'm not an incel, but I just mean I've grown up and I've seen this. And
Are you a Volcel?
What's that?
An incel is an involuntarily celibate, and a Volcel, I've learned, is a voluntary
What's the name
celibate.
What's the name for a normal person? That's me.
That's out the window.
Okay. I think that a lot of this was exacerbated by social media, and then when the COVID pandemic hit, a lot of people put up bubbles around themselves. The COVID pandemic kind of feels like a lot of people were isolating, and I had to intentionally tear down that bubble and make sure I'm socializing after. So I think we see the downstream effects of social media and COVID kind of up the brains of young men en masse, and a lot of this stuff happens online, but just from what I've seen firsthand, it's a lot of social stuff that has been caused by the environment we've grown up in. But if that's
wow.
fair.
I can't believe it's kind of weird, but I agree. Actually, if you look, isn't that odd that we agree on something? Because I was looking, it's the Global Male Loneliness Index or whatever it is, says that COVID was the spike in 30% of male loneliness. The numbers are awful. 80% of suicides are men. Men report, having been extremely lonely the day before at a much higher rate than women. So they're really in a bad spot. And my only thought on it is, well, actually, Adam, it's to your point, which is instead of the incel, it's are you an incel, trad, hip, cool, whatever. If you're just normal, if you just be normal and you live a normal life and you do normal things, which weirdly includes a bunch of dudes every so often wearing weird wigs and going out to a bar, that is normal. Going to a bachelor party is a normal thing. I'm going to one tomorrow, actually. If you just do that behavior, you're here. It worked for your parents. It worked for your grandparents.
Exactly. You guys need to get out into the wild, man.
Do we have a question?
I got a question. I'll clarify. Not an incel. Got a girlfriend. Volcel, practicing Catholic, for now. Okay. But I think there is an issue. There is an issue. And the issue I'm finding is that my friends, at least, don't want to meet a girlfriend, a wife at a bar necessarily. They want to meet her in church or a church event or something like that. In my generation, for the first time in history, there are more men attending church regularly than women. So I'm wondering, I don't want this trend to kind of keep going in opposite directions where you end up with all these church-going, stand-up, men without options for
Well, I mean, when
partners.
they're at church, I mean, are they flirting? Are they doing the appropriate things?
The women aren't
What's your
there. That's
prescription,
the
Michael?
problem.
What's your
the
prescription to
women
that problem?
aren't there.
The women aren't there anymore. That's the problem.
Well, that's
No,
because a
it's-
lot of religion holds women back, so we don't want to be there.
Oh yeah, religion's what's holding women back. Religion's the problem. Religion's saving women. Religion's saving women from the idols
Didn't
that
save
are
me.
everywhere right now.
Maybe not yet. And it's never too late, It's
My
never too late.
actually, let me say this. My grandmother is a Christian pastor. Like, I grew up in the church.
Oh, well, that's not real either. No,
They don't-
That's the idol right there. Come on.
Yes, she's a Methodist Christian Cuban
No,
pastor.
the reason they're booing. It's very nice that your grandma's Christian. That's a good thing. But it's because
because
women
she's
can.
a pastor.
The
but
idea
she
is that
she was the first one in her church to be a pastor. This is true. I'm not lying.
In deference to your grandmother, I won't make the broader theological point.
Don't do that.
But you go to a Catholic mass, I take it. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, that's right.
So there we don't have priestesses in the Catholic mass, no. And but you make a great point, which is that in the new atheism, men led the way out of religion. Men led the way to atheism. And then, now that everyone realizes atheism is dumb and totally, indefensible, now it's the men leading the way back. But you have this problem, especially if you go to the traditional masses, where if you want to date, the odds are good, but the goods are odd. I mean, these are real particular people, and it's a lot of guys. So in that case, I would just say you have to do what is incumbent upon a man, and you gotta lead, and you have to kind of lead by example. And maybe that means that tonight, when you're leaving this wonderful bar, you see a girl who's relatively wholesome. Well, you're Volcel dating, but some of your friends, you see a girl who's relatively wholesome for Lower Broadway in Nashville, and you invite her to the traditional Latin Mass tomorrow.
I think you guys just need to shoot your shot when you want to. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. So, I mean, legit, it is. All right, it's a numbers game. So shoot your shot. See something, say something. When I see someone's cute, I say it. I ask guys out all the time.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, listen. I understand what you're saying, that it's self-inflicted, because I think if a man sees a problem, he shouldn't blame anybody else for it. He should do whatever he has to do to fix the problem. But what do you think? What do you think about the fact that an estimated 1.4 million women in America are on OnlyFans, and most of them aren't making any money from it? So if you're in college and you're trying to meet the person you're going to be with the rest of your life, what are you supposed to do when like 25% of the chicks around there are showing their tits online for free?
Free market, baby.
Well, then that's not okay. So then, since they're out there and they're on OnlyFans, and that you already can write them off as the chick you don't want. So I guess they're exposing themselves so that that's
I'm
not
just
for
saying
me.
it's like harder to catch a fish when you dump toxic waste in the pond, is all I'm saying.
Right, hold on. His other problem with it, your problem with it, right when you said the question was not that they're on OnlyFans, but that they're not making any money from it.
There's an argument if she's making $1 million a month.
Listen, I mean, if they're doing it for no money, that's just stupid. But also, there can't be a seller without a buyer. So maybe if men
lot of you
stop
lonely
going
men-
on
That's true, too. I think it's
OnlyFans,
gross.
The
we
reason
wouldn't
why-
do it.
The reason why OnlyFans is popular is because a lot of lonely young men
Yes,
buy OnlyFans.
there can't be a seller without a buyer.
But aren't those lonely
Yeah, but
young
if there's
men
nothing
buying-
to buy, you can't buy it.
If there's nothing to buy, you can't buy.
I thought we liked free market capitalism in here. I thought if there was demand for
not
something,
unrestrained by a moral order.
if there is demand, wait,
But
so
it's
you're
your
okay?
law.
I don't worship mammon.
Are you
I'm
okay
not-
with the government stepping in if there's a immoral?
For sure.
Wait, so is the government in your eyes? Sorry, I don't really know much about your ideology. Is the government in your eyes the ultimate arbiter of what's moral and what's not?
No, there's an objective moral order that we can intuit because we're creatures
Wait,
of
so
reason.
OnlyFans is objectively bad in your eyes?
Yeah, for sure.
Not in my eyes, so it's not objective.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, just because you're wrong about something doesn't mean it's not.
That's convenient. That's convenient for you.
No. Listen, 2 + 2 = 4. You talk to a 3-year-old kid, he might think 2 + 2 = 5. That doesn't mean that we just throw our hands in the air and
Okay,
can't come to a
there's
conclusion.
a creator economy in OnlyFans with not only millions or 1.4 million girls participating, but even more millions of men. So all of these people in your eyes are just complete moral degenerates who are wrong.
So they're-
What's-
yeah, basically. Yeah, but,
Okay,
but, they're,
but
but
wait.
we all
what's-
sin. All
what's
people
your
sin.
governmental prescription to stop that from happening? What's your prescription? Does the government step in and regulate OnlyFans, stop
Yeah,
men from buying
yeah.
that? That's
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
I
basically.
wanna,
That's
I
not
wanna-
small government. That's more government. So you want more government to step in.
Yeah, I want a proper limited government
Real
that
conservatives in
pursues
here,
the common
wow.
good.
I wanna
no,
ask
I'm not
the
a
audience.
libertarian, but I'm a conservative.
But I want to
yeah.
ask the audience a quick question. Okay, for the guys in here, clap if you would want to see OnlyFans completely go away. Okay,
Yes.
okay, wait.
All right.
Okay, wait. Now,
Hold on, Adam, you're not
wait.
clapping.
Now clap
care, I
if you
don't-
if
You
you
don't
wouldn't
care?
want it to go away. I don't get it. You don't have to watch
Hold on,
it.
I don't want to embarrass you, Adam, but notice here. She said, "Do you want to see this like disgusting pornography site go away?" And clap if you want to do it. And you didn't clap. That makes you look like a weirdo. You should have clapped. You should have
think I look
clapped.
like a weirdo.
Can I just explain?
Yes.
I'm just rather agnostic. I think if there's supply and demand, I think if there's
You've got
demand
women
for an
being
economy.
exploited, selling their bodies for sex. They're going to be washed out of it. They're going to have trouble getting jobs. No man's going to want
That's
them,
their
like Nick
personal
said.
decision, though. That's their
But
personal
it's a bad decision.
I
We
think it's
protect
valid
people for
work.
So
bad
are you their
decisions.
boss or their dad? Like,
No, I'm a citizen in a self-governing
who
republic that
doesn't
makes
need
laws
to go to their
protect the common
OnlyFans
good.
page? You have to go to their page to see it.
You know what my question is?
Yeah.
If you want the government to be able to step in and regulate something like OnlyFans,
Which it currently does on the books,
can,
by the way.
Can I
'cause we
just
have
point out the
obscenity laws.
problem? When the government is arbitrating what's moral like that, then what happens when the next administration comes in and they say, any dude with a mic who is spewing stuff like Michael Knowles is, I think that that's immoral. I think that that is objectively immoral, and I want to regulate dudes with microphones.
is
There's a slippery slope that
You have
happens.
just described how government works. Yes, that's true.
There's a no. I am describing what happens when one government overreaches and tries to impose their morals,
No,
and
no,
you
you
have a
didn't-
slippery slope. Wait, so if you're saying this is how government works, why doesn't the Trump administration regulate and ban OnlyFans like everyone in this room wants? Because
Well-
they are not going to do that.
Well, because the Supreme Court weakened the obscenity laws, which have been on the books since the founding of the country, and they did that in the middle of the 20th century, which was
So
terrible.
it's not how administrations work, because the Supreme Court is not allowing the administration to do it.
No, but
so what
George W. Bush prosecuted a pornographer for obscenity in 2008.
One pornographer is different than banning an industry.
At the
Yeah,
federal
exactly.
level.
You want the government to ban an industry. When's the last time the government's banned an industry that has demand?
So what was the answer out there? Do someone prostitute? Well, it depends.
I mean,
in certain places,
I was going to
prostitution.
say it's still
When's
legal
the
in
last
some
time
places.
they have banned federally some sort of demand market?
Narcotics,
Narcotics? Not.
Well,
I guess
marijuana, for that matter, at the federal level, not at
yeah,
the state level.
I guess that works, but I just don't think that's comparable to OnlyFans.
Adam,
I don't
wouldn't
think
you
that
say?
narcotics-
Adam, wouldn't you say that all laws, to some degree, have recourse to morality? Because we say this is good and this is bad, and we need to be good to the asylum seekers, and we need to be good to the trans children or whatever. You're always making recourse to moral arguments. You just don't like it when we do it.
No, I'm
it's the thing about you, though, is that all of your positions are personal decisions and morals for you that you want to impose on me.
No, well, I think actually that statement that you just made, that's your personal opinion about how government should work, but I don't want you to impose that personal opinion about what I can do with my government on me.
And I don't want you to decide, oh, all these women and men can't do OnlyFans.
Well,
anymore.
I don't
It's
want
a
you to
personal
decide that I can't
decision.
decide that all those women and men can do OnlyFans.
You can have that opinion, but you can't actually
and you
enforce
can
that
have
on
that
people.
opinion too, but you can't make me listen to you when you say that
It's
I
like
can't
two
make the
kids.
government
That's
ban
not what I'm trying to
OnlyFans.
do. The difference between you and I is I don't want to put anything into legislation that stops
And the
people
difference between
from
you and
doing
I is I
something
don't want
they
women to
want.
be trafficked for pornography.
Who the f- is being trafficked when they decide to do it themselves? You
Huge
have to
swaths of the
go
pornography
to
industry.
the page.
Do the prostitutes on the street decide for themselves?
I mean, depending on the chick, right? I don't know. I'm not on
maybe,
the street.
yeah, maybe. Let's
Ask
talk to their
them.
pimps. Let's see if they decide for themselves. I don't know.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
That the prostitutes decide for themselves?
Yes.
Or, okay, all right, all done. The bachelor party took a bad turn. Okay, listen. Who was the VIP? Who was the VIP? I would say me. Thank you. That's where I appreciate that. No, I would say
ass.
got to be Mr. Catholic Volcel, right?
I think Volcel gets it.
Yeah,
I-
Volcel gets it. Yeah.
Volcel gets a cigar.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Volcel.
Okay, I feel terrible because you got your topic in. I got two of my topics in. Mr. Adam flew out here all the way from
Chicago.
Chicago.
Wait, no, I was in New York last night.
I got you out of Chicago and New York. Maybe you should thank me for that opportunity. But
Chicago's a nice city. Come on, it's nice.
Chicago is a great city.
Chicago.
well, it is MAGA country, so that's my favorite.
You guys
part
are being
about Chicago.
uncharitable when you say Chicago's not a nice city. It is a nice, affordable city. Like, it's what?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I don't
fair.
know any city where I can walk around in the middle of the night and Nigerian white supremacist MAGA supporters can take my Subway sandwich away. That is not a good city. That's a terrible city. I want to debate at least one of your topics. I don't
Yeah.
want you going home without us talking about
Well,
one.
do it. Do you want to choose or should they choose?
I want them to choose.
Say
They're-
that they want tariffs. They want tariffs.
Let's do tariffs.
All right, let's do
All right,
tariffs.
there we go. We're doing tariffs. What's your point?
I can start off with a lot of points, but I guess I just want to start off with a question. Is that fair?
Yes.
When do you think Liberation Day tariffs went into effect?
Well, it was a process, and they're still going into effect now. But they began in April of this year.
The announcement happened in April of this
Yeah.
year, but Trump does this weird thing where he makes tariff announcements, but he doesn't actually enact them for like 2 weeks to 90 days. And I think we can all agree with this fundamental idea that Trump's tariffs have been confusing. Trump's tariffs have been pushed back over and over, but the reality is the Liberation Day tariffs, the most radical tariffs that he announced, didn't go into effect till August 7th because
Yeah.
he put in a 90-day delay.
Yeah.
August 7th was 14 days ago. So you guys are going to rest your whole claim on the fact that tariffs haven't caused inflation, but the tariffs just went into effect. But I also want to point out the fact that Trump's tariffs have no rhyme or reason. If you want to argue that we have trade imbalances in America, I wouldn't disagree. But that is not what Trump was remedying. How is remedying trade imbalances putting tariffs indiscriminately on every single country? Do you know what country has the highest tariffs right now?
Is it like Mauritius or something
It's
crazy?
Brazil,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not even to rebalance trade because of Bolsonaro was being targeted. So what I'm making my point here is that Trump's tariffs have not been to intentionally or targeted help the economy. What they have been doing is a lever for him to, help Bolsonaro, to use corruption, a lever that has not helped the American people. Tariffs are inherently inflationary, which you'll agree. Tariffs are inflationary.
Not necessarily.
Well,
Not
I mean-
necessarily. They can be,
Who
but they're not
pays for
necessarily.
it, right? It goes down to the consumer.
They largely are inflationary because at Customs and Border Patrol, that is when it's collected by American companies. So I just want to wrap this up. I think that Trump's tariff policy has been an unmitigated disaster. It has been awful. And
How has it, so I agree with your points that that's confusing. I think that was intentional. I agree with your points that some of the measures for implementing them seem arbitrary. I also think that was intentional and effective. But I guess my question is, let's get specific here. You say they've been a disaster. By what economic measures have they been
there's
disasters?
a few. PPI just came out and showed that vegetables are up by 38% over the past month.
Why do you think PPI went up?
Why do you think PPI went up? There's
Yeah.
a few reasons. It could be
The
tariffs.
PPI is
it could be
is-
weather. PPI is the producer price index, which is how producers are counting what things cost and what they're selling to people. But overall,
Why did it go up?
vegetables went up 38%, a combination of weather and tariffs.
Weather and tariffs, is there maybe a third possibility
What's your
that's
third
correlated
possibility?
with PPI going up? The fact that we just hit the highest stock market ever recorded in the month of August, which is correlated with higher PPI.
You want to know why we hit the highest stock market?
I don't
Because
even care why we did. I'm
Listen.
just pointing out that's why PPI went
No,
up.
no, you can claim the highest stock market is impressive, but you know what's impressive to me? Trump took office and crashed the stock market on Liberation Day, and it didn't recover until he reversed the tariffs. So the only reason the market
He
is
didn't
up.
reverse the tariffs. You just said the tariffs are being implemented right now.
He put a 90
in a capricious
no, no,
and
he
and
put a
large way that's
90-day
damaging the
pause.
country.
Let me finish. He put a 90-day pause, which confused people to such an extent that nobody believes him. The stock market is hitting all-time highs at 7 months into his presidency, which is not impressive. It was
As
hitting
the
all-time
tariffs are being
highs
implemented, as you just admitted.
because nobody believes him anymore. Not a single person believes that Donald Trump is imposing tariffs, that they will start. You didn't even know when they started. The guy who was saying I
I
didn't
just
know
told you when
research.
I told you they were being
You didn't
implemented
mention-
successively, and they began in April. I gave you the precise answer. As
Did you say August 7th?
No, but
You did not say
they
August
began to
7th.
be implemented within
So you
weeks
agree
of
with
the
my
Liberation Day
fundamental
announcement in April.
You agree with my fundamental axiom that tariffs have been confusing? Have they
Intentionally.
yielded any results?
Yes.
What?
Okay. Well, here are the results. Because there are three things that tariffs can do. Tariffs can raise revenue, tariffs can get you better trade deals, and tariffs can boost manufacturing.
All of those things are contradictory.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this
What are you
is what's so
talking about?
amazing because you make such a great point, Adam. If you get the better trade deals, usually you don't get the revenue, you don't get the manufacturing. If you get the manufacturing, usually you don't get the trade. You don't get the revenue because it's not coming in. Right. Now, what's so strange about Trump's tariffs is that we have raised a lot of revenue, $100 billion since April.
Wait, why is the deficit still increasing at a massive rate? What the hell?
The budget deficit?
Yeah.
Well, because we're only, as you point out, like 2 months into the tariffs.
No, Trump claims that he's raised $3 trillion or something.
Don't distract.
Right?
Don't distract.
Okay, go for it.
$100 billion in tariffs. That is more than twice. That's 2.5 times the historic average. So we are raising revenue at a huge clip. Then manufacturing activity is at a 3-year high.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
It is at a 3-year high.
By this point in Biden's
Yes.
presidency, we had added 200,000 manufacturing jobs. We've lost 28,000 since Trump took office.
Manufacturing activity today, August 2025,
Nope.
is that it is. I mean, I don't know. Look it up in the.
Look it up. Manufacturing has dropped
It's
under
at
Trump.
it's at a 3-year high, so that means that it's signaling you're getting further growth. But the craziest thing is the trade deals have been insane. We just closed a deal with the European Union. We tariff their goods. They basically don't tariff our goods, and they're investing $600 billion in the country. So Trump managed to get all 3 objectives of tariffs simultaneously, and the economy is at an all-time high, and employment is full. There is no economic indicator that has gone down under Trump. It's all at highs.
But I noticed that all the time the market is brought up when in reality the average American, sometimes the stock market isn't what affects them. Like, not everyone's playing into the market. The average American...
Can I ask you a question, Michael?
I mean, the average American is not...
Most Americans have retirement accounts and pensions and that sort of thing.
But
so in that way, they
I want to be
interact
fair
with
and reply to
yes.
your EU point in just 1 second, but I want to ask you the question. When you cite this $100 billion raised, who is that raised from exactly?
It's raised from the countries that were tariffing.
That is not true. So
Yeah.
when you're saying goods are coming over the border, Customs and Border Protections is taxing the other country.
Yes.
That is not how it works.
Hey,
It is
but
only
I'm a
released when
cigar
US countries
manufacturer
pay.
who makes my product in Nicaragua. I know a lot about tariffs and how they work. And unfortunately for my industry, there's an 18% tariff in Nicaragua. But it's okay. I mean, listen, I'm willing to eat it because we have a very successful
Wait a
product
minute.
called
You just said
Mayflower.
Nicaragua was eating the cost, or you implied that other countries were eating the cost when it hit CPB.
Oh,
but you're eating the cost.
No, are you asking me if a manufacturer in another country has to bear that cost? Yes, of course.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's a manufacturer in the other country.
No,
which in the case of premium cigars is outside the United
But
States.
you're eating the cost.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but not everyone's going to eat that cost.
Not
A lot
everyone-
of
they'll
it
pass
is
it on
going to
to
go down to
consumers.
the consumer.
I know. That's why you got to go to good companies like Mayflower.
No,
okay,
the
folks,
entire
this
point-
is the last chance. This is your last chance to win a free drink and a cigar. So you need to get to that microphone. We have someone up already.
I would say the economic impact of the tariffs was priced in, I would say, even before Liberation Day.
Yeah.
Americans know what they're getting into as far as this. This is what they voted for.
Not all
and
of
that's
us.
also why, as Michael stated, we are at all-time highs for S&P. And inflation is back to 2 to 3%, if I'm not mistaken, and people have more money back to their paychecks. The other thing is the tariffs had nothing to do with the amount of revenue that we were bringing in. It was more about the accountability for other countries.
That's a nice distinction.
Wait,
That-
can I
that
ask
is
you
So
a
you
question?
voted to have prices raised? I'm confused. Oh, we knew what we were getting into. So you voted to have prices raised on you.
we voted for a president that wasn't going to fall asleep at the table with other.
Oh, he's asleep.
Yeah, he's
leaders.
just taking $400 million jets, doubling his net worth based off of crypto, and deporting people process whatsoever.
Yeah, and I would give you that. I 100%
But do
agree
you-
with that.
Can I ask
Yeah,
you a
fine.
question
Yeah,
very,
go for
very
it.
quickly? You can claim that Donald Trump, it seems like you were trying to make the argument that he was rebalancing some of these deficits by holding countries accountable.
I would say it's not about accounting for deficits. It's about accountability and how we look on the main stage. It has nothing
because
to do
the
with
trade
revenue.
deficit
It
thing.
has nothing
in
to do with
in
revenue.
my humble opinion, the reason that he picked that is because it's so crazy.
But you realize we look batshit insane when
Yeah.
we're tariffing Switzerland, who we had free trade with. We had free trade with Switzerland, and we're tariffing them. We're tariffing Brazil. We're tariffing islands with nobody that lives there, but not Russia. So the point is, every time someone
we
makes
have
the
major
argument,
sanctions on Russia. You know, it's
But
not. That's,
we can at
we don't
least-
have much trade at all with Russia.
we can at least play tariffs.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make is Donald Trump claims that he is intentionally and targeted, or people claim that he is trying to hold countries accountable in a targeted way. That's not what's happening. It is broad, sweeping tariffs that make no sense,
They make
that
no
you admitted
sense.
were confusing. And now you guys have to reverse engineer some sort of weird cognitive...
No, because look, you make this point about Europe. You're making the point about Switzerland, but let's talk about the European Union. You would say, well, this is crazy. These allies of ours, why are we smacking them with these insane tariffs? And why this doesn't make sense? We need to just put even more sanctions on Russia or whatever. But notice now, we have a great trade deal with the European Union. We're dealing with like a 15% tariff. We got $600 billion from them to invest in our country. So obviously it was just a way to negotiate. And it also happens to raise revenue and boost manufacturing.
Wait a minute. No,
but those are ancillary effects.
Okay, if you're negotiating to reshore manufacturing, then you can't be raising revenue off of tariffs because nobody's going to be importing anything.
Yeah, that's what you'd think. It actually takes a very delicate balance to be able to serve all three interests.
Oh, my Lord. So
but
Trump
he's
is
done
playing
it.
40 chess right now with other countries.
No, it's just the numbers don't lie. Okay, next question.
For years, the U.S. has been screwed over by China, Europe, South America. This isn't just about short term. We need to be looking at long term. We need to be looking at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Since NAFTA, we have been screwed over.
USA! You make a great point. You make a great point.
Stop looking at the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We need to be looking at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. These tariffs are setting a message that the U.S. will not be screwed over.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. We need to rebalance trade and stop China from ripping us off.
And Donald Trump is here to stand up for us.
Then let me ask you, what deal has he cut with China?
We are done.
What deal has he cut with China?
We don't necessarily.
This isn't about right now.
What deal has he cut with China?
This is about setting the future. This is about setting us up for 5 years, 10 years.
No answer.
I'll give you an answer.
What deal has he cut with China?
I'll give you an answer on it because you're saying, well, we need to balance trade. But that's what
no.
My
question is, what deal has he set with China? Because you are saying that he set a deal with China. He has set 2 90-day delays. You can't answer what a deal is. He can't answer what a deal is. Nobody can answer what the deal is.
I'm trying to answer it to you. Even on the delays, which are obviously strategic, the point of setting the trade equilibrium as being the metric is because it's so crazy and kind of impossible in certain cases. Obviously, what's he going after in China? China's trade issues with us for 25 years have been illegally subsidizing steel, manipulating their currency,
IP.
stealing our IP, all of these things, right? Now, all of the previous presidents, since we stupidly let China into the World Trade Organization, all of them went at that directly. They got no results whatsoever. Trump comes in like a bull in a china shop, pun intended, and he does in the first term and he does in the second term, and he says, no, I'm going to pick this totally random metric, namely the trade deficits, and I'm going to start punching people around until we get better deals on all of the above.
Michael, I'm going to ask my question one more time.
Yes.
What deal did he get with China?
What specifically are you asking me?
I'm
What
asking
deal
you,
did he
what
get?
deal did this person just came up to the mic and said Trump took office and is going to hold China accountable.
But what did
All
he do?
Trump has done is pussyfooted and delayed 90 times, and you're sitting here stuttering
But
because you can't.
I don't get.
Okay, then answer the deal. What deal has he cut with China? No, shut up. What deal has he cut with China?
No, but I think.
No,
Adam,
listen, answer right now.
But Adam, we've been addressing your point because you're saying he didn't get a deal quickly enough. He didn't get a deal in 30 days.
There's
or 60
no
days.
deal. What's his framework?
But you're saying I don't like.
You're looking at the
I'm trying to answer
short term.
you.
This is a long-term play.
If your point is, Adam, well, Trump hasn't gotten this trade deal done within 30 or 60 or 90 days. I ask, where's Joe Biden's
It's been
trade
200
deal?
days.
Where's Barack Obama's great
Joe
trade deal?
Biden
Didn't
put
solve any of the underlying problems with Chinese trade.
Joe Biden put targeted tariffs on China. He didn't put tariffs on the world like a retard. I'm sorry. He's not a retard.
Stop talking.
Donald Trump
It's very
is.
ableist
Stop
language.
talking.
I don't
care.
like that language.
Wokeness is
ableist
dead.
language.
Wokeness is dead, Michael.
Woke is dead. That's true.
Okay, I'm
Trump
going
is
to
a
say
retard.
something really
Yeah,
quick.
sassy.
I am totally
Yes.
here. I'm so here for doing more American manufacturing, more exporting. I totally agree with that. But you guys know that Trump has all his shit made in China, right? Okay, I just
No, he
want to
doesn't.
point out
That's
the
not
hypocrisy
true.
there.
That's a calumny. He makes his stuff in America. He actually does.
Okay.
He does. I have the hat. I got the hat in
Who has the hat
2016.
on?
It's made
Who
in
the fuck has
America.
the hat on right now?
It is. It is. It's great. There are a lot of knockoffs,
No.
though. That's another way China's stealing our IP. They're stealing our MAGA hat.
Can I point something out very quickly?
Yeah.
I got to have one topic tonight, and it was tariffs. I think I just ran around the room on tariffs because you couldn't name a deal. You couldn't
What are
name
you
a deal.
talking about?
And nobody could name anything that Trump has accomplished.
Hold on. Adam. You brought up tariffs, and I was happy to talk about it. You said it was a disaster for the American people.
You said it was confusing.
I asked you to cite a specific economic measure by which it was a disaster. You couldn't. I cited every economic measure, which is at all-time high.
You want me to cite a few? GDP.
I asked you to
GDP
already.
Okay, I got you.
Negative
Listen.
0.5.
GDP contracted in the first quarter. PPI is going up. Electricity has gone up 10%. And all of that.
Electricity has gone up. That's the best you
And
got.
all
Give
of
me
that
a
is
break.
because the tariffs
Give me a
have
break.
not come into place yet. The tariffs have not even really started.
So hold on.
14
The
days
tariffs
ago.
have destroyed our economy, but they also haven't come into place
No,
yet.
I didn't. When did I say they destroyed our economy?
No,
It's
but
not even
it's
an
making it
unmitigated
volatile.
disaster, Michael.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the tariffs which don't exist have been terrible. Now, who is the VIP of that round?
Yeah,
I say the USA guy, right? Where's he?
Which one was that?
All right, there we go. There we go. Now, VIP table. You blessed few. I have a question. Molly, you can relay this. Did we solve the world's problems? If not, we didn't. If not, is there something you would like us to hash out in our final remaining moments before the music comes back on?
So, okay, Mr. Panel, you keep saying that Michael couldn't name a deal, he couldn't name a deal.
Are you gonna name a China deal? Name it.
No, I'm not going to try.
The trick is
No.
there's no deal yet. That's
But
the big trick
first
of the
of all,
question.
okay, deals take time.
Obviously.
And in order to strike a deal, China's not going to do it because they're nice, okay? You need to put pressure on them. You need them to bleed for a long period of time, okay? And so my understanding is Trump's putting a tariff so they bleed for a long period of time, and then they come to the table and there's a negotiation. What else should he do? What can we add?
President Mockler?
What should Donald Trump add to the tariffs? Maybe some clarity to the tariffs.
Yeah.
When it comes to China, he has not gotten a single deal, and I guess there are
You're
ways
just
to do this.
restating the question. What specifically, what would you make clear if you're going to add clarity?
Okay, what Donald Trump does is he sets these arbitrary deadlines and pushes them back. When Donald Trump set that first 90-day
You're
deadline
evading
with
the
China,
question.
no,
You're totally evading the
clarity
question.
with deadlines. I'm asking you right now, clarity with deadlines.
Deadlines, okay.
He set a 90-day deadline with China. What did he do to that 90-day deadline? Wait, let me listen. What did he do to that 90-day deadline?
Trump has pushed deadlines. Now answer the question.
No. Maybe not push deadlines and hold people
Okay.
accountable. He's
Okay.
pushed a
Anything
deadline
else?
back and back and back.
Okay, don't push
what you can
deadlines.
do is
Anything else?
You can tariff the countries that China trades with to put pressure on them. There's so many ways to place pressure on China. What Donald Trump is doing is f***ing around. He's not getting a single deal.
But he is tariffing countries that China trades.
So you bleed China by tariffing
But he's already
Vietnam,
doing that.
tariffing the countries surrounding them.
He's already doing that. He
He's
tariffed
tariffing
the entire
Brazil
world.
more.
He tariffed the whole world.
He's tariffing Brazil more.
But he's tariffing like literally every
What he's
country on
doing
Earth.
is destroying our
So he's already doing that.
relationships.
Is there anything that Trump is not doing, because you're so upset about his China policy, is there anything he's not doing that you would do other than do it faster or whatever?
Wait, can I ask you a quick question right here?
Sure.
You said that it takes time to do trade deals. Wasn't Trump's entire motto 90 deals in 90 days?
I mean, that's what he said.
Why? Okay, wait. Didn't he also say he'll end the Ukraine war on day one? Can I ask you guys in the crowd?
He
Did
is
he
doing
get
the
90
most.
deals in 90 days? No. Did he end the war? No. This dude is a weak
Who
dude who
else
does not know what to
trying?
do.
Who else
All
is trying?
top.
Who else is trying to defend America?
Who else is trying to tariff every country like a f***ing retard?
Who
Donald
else
Trump?
is giving
just-
their
you
effort
just advocated
24/7
tariffing all
for
those
our
countries.
country?
You
Who
just
else
advocated
is
doing
trying
that.
to save America like Donald Trump? Who else is waking up to save America?
No,
Who
let me
else
say
is
something.
trying like
no,
Trump?
let me say something. When you want to make a fucking deal with someone, you need to schmooze. You need to do this and that. You don't bully people and strongman them.
You need an
No, but-
ultimatum.
because
Make
the reality
more.
is-
Adam's point. Adam's complaining that Trump is schmoozing and being too diplomatic,
No.
and he's saying he's got to bully him more
No,
and get him
I'm
faster.
saying that
He
he's
is bullying.
perpetually pushing back deadlines and he looks like a pussy.
you guys are
admitted that he did
disagreeing
a
now.
90-day deadline.
he
Okay,
does.
listen.
You're agreeing with us and with the VIP
No,
table.
Can I ask you a
Yes.
question?
I
Yeah.
don't like
Do you
the
remember
fact
when
that
Trump
he's
said there would be
bullying.
severe consequences on Vladimir Putin if they did not get a deal in Alaska? He
Yeah.
said severe consequences. He left that meeting, and not only were there not severe consequences, but Donald Trump has since adopted Putin's position. You see the same framework when it
Adopted
comes
Putin's
Wait,
position?
listen,
What are you talking about,
I will
adopted
answer in
Putin's
one
position?
second. You see the same framework when it comes to tariffs. You asked me what I would do differently. I would add clarity and I would finish the deadlines. He put a 90-day deadline on China. When we hit that 90 days, our president
Adam,
delayed
that
it
is a
another 90
non-answer.
days.
You can't say, I'd be clear and fast. Clear and fast about what? Then you say, I would tariff other countries. He's already doing that, and you were complaining about it.
No, you
so
tar-
what was the other thing that you would do?
I would
how-
not tariff all countries. I would just not even start with the tariffs. I would not start with the tariffs.
You would not tariff anybody. But
no.
you would also tariff all the countries
Okay,
around
how about
China.
this?
Okay,
I
got
would
it.
do targeted tariffs against China like Trump did in his first administration.
Okay.
What Trump is doing is tearing up trade deals that he negotiated
Hey, listen,
himself.
if your problem with Trump second admin is you'd prefer the Trump first admin, that's a pretty good
Can I answer
criticism.
your question
I'll
about
tell you.
Putin?
That's okay. That's
Can
all
I
right.
answer your question about Putin?
Sure.
When Donald Trump went into this deal, went into this Alaska meeting,
Yeah.
he was promising a ceasefire, right?
He asked for a ceasefire.
He said
yeah.
there would be severe consequences if there was no ceasefire.
Yeah.
After he left, guys, it's a free country. It's a free country. After he left, What he did is he said, I don't want a ceasefire anymore. I want a peace deal. What that has allowed Putin to do is not negotiate for short-term peace. He has killed hundreds of civilians in Ukraine since Donald Trump said he doesn't want a ceasefire. What Donald Trump is doing is falling into the Putin framework of using negotiations to inevitably delay. What Russia does, they're smart, dude. They're very, very smart.
Interesting.
They delay. They kill people.
So hold on. Your issue with Trump convening a summit in Alaska, getting Putin there, then convening Zelensky and the European leaders 3 days later in the White House to work on not just a ceasefire but a broader peace deal. Your problem is you say, well, the war is going on 3 extra days and civilians are dying.
No.
I don't remember you saying any of that when Joe Biden was president, encouraging the war to continue. I don't
was not
remember hearing that.
encouraging the war to continue.
He
was
absolutely
using peace
was
through
encouraging the war.
strength.
Joe Biden and unfortunately not only the Democrats but many squishes on the Republican Party were advocating for the war from a grand strategic standpoint because they said it was degrading the Russian military and it was a meat grinder in Ukraine.
No.
They were advocating for
No.
more debts and for the war to go on. And the only party that was calling for peace at all was the Republican Party.
No,
and
this is not peace.
And the only
This is
president
not
on
peace.
whose watch Vladimir Putin has not further invaded a country in the last quarter century is Donald Trump.
Let's be real here. Maybe you all saw the whole meeting between Trump and Putin. Trump is Putin's bitch. He sat down and spoke before our president. I'm sorry.
Well, it's so strange. I don't know because
Yes.
I don't know. Trump has levied much tougher sanctions on Vladimir Putin than Barack Obama
he
or
is
Joe Biden.
not.
That's kind of strange.
No,
That's so
he's
No,
strange.
he is not.
No.
I don't.
he's not.
He didn't. And he didn't lift sanctions.
In his
and he
first
also-
term you're talking about, maybe. Are you talking
Yeah,
about his first term?
And well, we're 7 months into
Can I
this
just
term,
say,
and he's calling.
the only way to end this war is to make it such that Vladimir Putin is facing such severe consequences that he will never reinvade. Russia has this strategy of launching an invasion, then they pause that invasion, then they reinvade. They've done it with multiple countries. They did it in 2008, in 2014, in 2022.
Yeah.
We cannot allow...
You're right. They did it under Bush and Obama and Biden, and not Trump. That's
Okay,
really weird. Isn't
how
it?
come through
I
Trump's-
think I'll go with Trump's strategy.
Wait, through Trump's 4 years, Crimea was occupied.
Almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
Trump, no, I mean, his first 4 years, Crimea was occupied.
Right, but he didn't further invade, is what I said.
The thing is, Russia has a strategy of launching an invasion, pausing that, then reinvading. We need a peace deal that makes sure Russia cannot just
I agree.
reinvade.
Listen, I agree.
And they'll go
I
against
thought
that deal anyway.
the Obama doctrine, as written by Jeffrey Goldberg in The Atlantic interviewing the president, that said that Vladimir Putin could operate within his strategic sphere of influence. I agree. I thought that was
I
terrible.
agree as well, Michael.
Is there one more question at the microphone?
So, Michael, do you think that women should work only in the kitchens or pursue their careers?
I think they can work in the living room too. There are other rooms also that are even more enjoyable. Okay, folks, that's our show. I want to thank Ceci and Adam for being here. I want to thank all of you for being here. Now, before we go, in my view, I'm very diplomatic. As you know, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I find nobody wins a bar fight. People only lose bar fights. So I want to know, of the 3 people up here, who do you think lost the bar fight? And I'm gonna, they're yelling at poor Adam. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna, what about, is it me? That's very kind.
Totally not biased either.
That's really,
Yeah,
okay.
really.
Is it Ceci? I almost hesitate. Was it Adam? Was it Adam? It was.
We put up a fight.
All right. Well, after that,
You're wearing a wig, brother. You're wearing a wig, sister.
Oh, and he took his off.
I can't even hear you, bro. I can't
All
even
right,
hear you.
before
You look
an
like a
actual
puppy right
bar
now.
fight breaks out, let's go get Adam a drink for that. That was terrible treatment he got. Thank you very much to both of you for being here. Thank you to all of you. Kylie, close
Thank
us
you.
out.
You guys were awesome.
I got 3 words: God, guns, and Trump.